Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the first time, and thank you, and welcome back, and thank you to everybody who has seen me before and following me on this journey of, in 2019, my New Year's resolution started with, I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video. Last year was to be kinder and more compassionate to myself and others. And this year is to break up with processed sugar, which all of these things I've been able to do, which is such a gift, but it's because I have support. I am accountable to myself and others, and I've been talking about it out loud, and all of these things combined are helping me follow through and continue to follow through with this process, with this journey. So I feel like the recipe for success is accountability, support, and speaking out loud and telling people what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter who's listening. It's none of my business. It's only my job to keep doing it. So those are the things that have helped me so much. And I wanted to talk to you guys this week. Every week I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I know it's God channeling through me. And last week I came out, and not in the traditional way of coming out with my sexuality. And I know this month is Gay Pride Month, and for everybody who's been able to come out and let people see them, that is brave as shit. And I do salute you, and that is not easy. And the only way that I have been able to come out is a little bit at a time. And how my process of coming out first started was when I was 18 and I went into my second rehab. So that was me starting to come out. And I originally came out first as an alcoholic and addict. And that was the first part of my coming out. And that was coming out to myself. And I'm sure a lot of other people knew this about me, but I didn't know yet. And I feel like a lot of times everybody else knows before we know. And I know for me, part of that process is not to be around people who make me feel bad for not knowing. And another part of my process was, I hid in a career for a really long time. I was very talented as a hairdresser, and I was a hair color specialist. And I was very talented with this gift, and I didn't want the word to get out how good I was, because if people knew, then more people would come, and what if I couldn't handle it? So I hid for a really long time, and I think part of my hiding was I was hiding from myself because I didn't want to know, and I wasn't ready to know yet. But as time has gone on, in the beginning, one of the only ways I was able to stay sober was because I had a woman tell me, if you drink, I will fire you. So I had this, fuck you, watch me. You're not gonna fire me, lady. And you know, this fuck you, watch me took me really far. It took me as far as it could take me until it couldn't. And I survived on spite for a really long time because I had to. So as this process has gone on, I came out again when I showed up at another 12-step program called ACA, and it's Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, which there wasn't apparent alcoholism in my immediate family, but there was with the grandparents. But I still belong there because it was for families of dysfunction, which every single person is from a family of dysfunction. So when I woke up to that, that was another part of my coming out as I was coming in to myself. So that was another part of my process. And then when I knew I was meant to speak out loud and start telling my story out loud, whether you were in a 12-step program or not, I was at a Christmas party and I got the thing that I recite from Marianne Williamson in the beginning at this Christmas party. And it took probably, I'm not sure because I don't remember times. You know, some people remember every single thing that happened to them or they don't. And I'm the person that doesn't remember. So dates and times are really hard for me to remember. But it was almost a year after I heard that from Marianne Williamson to decide what that meant for me. So how I got started was I was walking with my son and I said, I think I'm meant to speak out loud. And I said, what if I have haters? And he's like, Mom, you're not even good enough for haters. So there kicked in my, fuck you, watch me. I want haters. So that spite has gotten me started for a lot of things, but I couldn't stay consistent with any of that if the God part didn't kick in and realize that I don't need to show anybody else and I don't need to have a fuck you, watch me. I need to have a I'll show me. And that's where I am in this process is I'm showing me. And as I'm showing me, I am able to show all of you. And it hasn't been an easy road. And this is not an easy process. And you guys have watched me go through losing my job, being on welfare, applying for Social Security disability. This has not been an easy road for me to talk out loud and about what's happening and how it's happening, but it doesn't mean I'm not meant to do it. It doesn't mean that it's not painful. It doesn't mean that it's not scary. It doesn't mean that it's not hard, but it means I'm still meant to do it. And last week, the last part of my coming out is I work for God and I know it. And I'm really proud of that. I never thought I would be proud to say that out loud, but I am. And however people receive that, it is none of my business, but my job just every day is to show up and spread as much love and light and compassion in this world as I possibly can. And I know that is God's will for me. So thank you to everybody who's watching. Please stay tuned, stay safe, and I will see you all next week.